Hey you! I am so happy that you are here. Listen, I know how hard it is to be on that postpartum stage, whether you are 6 weeks postpartum or a year. And I know sometimes it takes even longer for you to feel like yourself again and look like yourself and be yourself. And I also know that one of the hardest things once you have your baby is to kind of like accept yourself and feel good about yourself. I've been there twice and I know how hard it is. I've also worked with thousands and thousands and thousands of pregnant women who've gone through my Fit Mom to Be programs and later on go to tell me how terrible they feel postpartum and how hard it is to see their body, because I don't know about you, but I know that it's a little bit discouraging to see your body after pregnancy. You know, you've gone through almost 10 months of like just being huge and seeing everything grow, almost like by the millisecond everything's expanding and growing, and now all of a sudden you have this baby and you're like, yes, my body's going to be back to normal, and it's not. And you still have this huge pooch and you still look pregnant and you still feel hormonal and you just don't feel like yourself. You know you're not acting like yourself, and it's so hard. Listen, you know, even if you're breastfeeding, it's even harder because you don't really get your body to its normal self until you stop nursing. So like for me, I nursed for 12 months the first time and 16 months the second time. So all the way till then was my body really not itself again. So it takes a while and it's hard. But I will tell you one thing from experience myself and from working with so many ladies, that man, if you're not happy with yourself and you don't feel confident, it makes everything so much harder. It makes your relationship with your husband harder. It makes your relationship with your kids harder because you don't have patience, you just don't feel good. It makes your relationship with your friends not as good because you don't want them to see you and you don't want to go out and you don't feel confident. If you're going back to work, that lack of confidence because you don't feel good about yourself is there. It increases your chances of postpartum depression, which could be up to a year after you have the baby. So I hate that it's so vain to say, but the way you look and the way you feel matters. It will make you feel so much better in every aspect of your life. So I'm super excited that you're here. I'm happy to be on this journey with you, and I can't wait for you to start feeling better, to start looking better, to start feeling confident again, and to having your energy back and your glow back, and just feeling yourself again. So congratulations on taking this step. I know that it's not easy. I know that you're probably exhausted and stressed and hormonal. So I just want to applaud you for taking the step and doing this postpartum plan with me. And I promise you are going to see results, okay? Anytime you put effort in and you make sacrifices, you will see results. So I'm happy to be on this journey with you and help guide you. Now, I'm going to be in contact with you every few days just to give you your workouts and give you some tips. Today, there's a few things I want to talk to you about. First thing, I want to make sure that you have medical clearance. Clearance from your doctor to exercise. Very important. Now, usually it takes about 4 to 6 weeks to do that. If you are still bleeding, you cannot exercise yet. Call your doctor, get medical clearance. Okay, now maybe you are further along in the postpartum process. Maybe you're 6 months, 3-4 months, a year. You probably already got medical clearance. As long as you have medical clearance, we're good to go. Okay, we're good to get those workouts in. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is rest. Incredibly important for you to get some rest if you're going to exercise. Okay, so if your baby is like really, really new and you're waking up like every hour and a half, every 2 hours, I don't want you to exercise just yet. I want you to put me on pause. I want you to save this link or this workout or this video, and I want you to start again when you're getting at least 3-4 hour chunks, okay? Because not sleeping adds more stress to the body, and when you have stress in your body, it makes it really hard to burn fat. Yeah, it matters. So if you're not resting at least, 3 hour chunks, don't want you to do this yet. I want you to do this, just not yet, okay? But if you are getting like 4 hours of sleep, 5, 6 hours, then you can totally pull this off. But let's talk about the naps, okay? This is the next thing I wanted to talk about. Now, naps. You probably heard this a million times when you were pregnant, like all these people that give you advice without you soliciting it, or like, make sure you nap when the baby naps. Well, then who cooks? And when do you clean? And when do you organize your house? And when do you get errands done? And when you spend time with your husband? And when do you spend time with your other kid? And when? It's not possible to nap when the baby naps. At least I didn't think so the first time. I definitely didn't do that the first time. And I would exercise when the baby was napping, and I would do all my things when the baby was napping. And I was exhausted and in a bad mood and adding stress to my body, which made it even harder to burn fat. The second time, I learned my lesson. And that's why I want to share that with you. Everything that I learned, I just want to share with you because I want to help you. I don't want you to do the same mistakes, make the same mistakes that I did. So I want to encourage you to not use your naps for your workouts. I know you're probably like, Michelle, this is crazy, but everybody tells me to, exercise when I put the baby to nap. Well, I don't want you to, because remember I told you that rest and sleep is just as important as your exercise and your nutrition, maybe even more important, okay? If you are not resting enough or sleeping enough, no matter what you do, you will not burn fat as effectively. Okay, so here's what I want you to do, and just hear me out and try it. If it doesn't work, then fine, but try it. Okay, because the second time around, I was even busier. My business was even, growing even more, and I was busier. Now I have a toddler to be running after, so life was way busier. But what I started doing is not using the nap. I would nap, at the beginning they have lots of naps, so you may be able to pull it off. But, sometimes I would get stuff done when the baby was napping, and then the other naps, I would actually sleep and rest because I knew that I needed it. I needed to be safe for my husband, for my toddler, and for my baby. So I actually did listen to all those people that told you to rest when the baby rests. And here's what I did. Especially when the baby's tiny and they're just like sitting around. When the baby's up, maybe you can find out what time is best when the baby is the happiest. I would put Annabelle in her swing, or in a bumbo, or one of those like little chairs they like, or a jumper as they get a little bigger, or maybe even the stroller, or up pack and play. And I would maybe put some baby Einstein, or I would point her towards a window or something, and it'd get my workout done. And she was happy. And then I was able to rest during one of her naps and also get stuff done. So don't waste a nap on a workout if you don't have to, okay? You may find that this may work really well. Your baby also may enjoy watching you move around and jump around and listen. There was plenty of times where I'd have to stop for a second and hand her a pacifier, or grab her little blankie that fell, or change the channel or something, but I got my workout done, okay? And I was able to use nap time to rest. This is gonna benefit you, okay? Now, another thing that I wanna just advise you to do is maybe you can wait till your husband gets home from work, and maybe you can ask him, honey, can you give me 15-20 minutes so I could get my workout done? And maybe that could be the bonding time between baby and daddy. And then you don't waste that nap time. Then one of those nap times, you can kind of recover from the night's sleep. Huge. And you will see that your hubby may actually look forward to that time and enjoy that time with the baby, because he won't get so much time as you do, especially at the beginning. Okay, so always asking for support helps tons. Okay, and then another thing that I liked to do is I would take the whole family out to the park. So we'd put the babies in the stroller. I had a double stroller, or sometimes Nico would walk, and we would go to a park, and then Nico could run around and play in the park, and Danny, my husband, would push the baby in the stroller, walk around, or just, rock her, take her out and walk her around while he followed around Nico. And I got my workout done right there at the park. And you can do that because you can access your workouts right from your phone. So this was really great, because then I didn't feel mom guilt because I was with my kids. I didn't feel guilty I wasn't spending time with my husband. And we got to go outside. And that was usually like the witching hour. I don't know if you have that yet or if you've heard of it. But it's usually that time, it's usually later on in the day, the baby's fed and slept and changed, but the baby's crying for some reason, like uncontrollably, usually going outside is great for them. Super great. So towards the beginning, when they were really, really small, I would use that witching hour to go outside, take them out for some fresh air, run around, expend some energy for the big one, and just spend some bonding time with Danny, and I could work out while watching them. So there's 3 options of you to do, and you don't have to use that nap time so that you could rest, okay? Do you think you could do that? I really hope so, because if you do, you'll be able to be more consistent. Here's another thing I want to talk to you about. When your baby gets a little bigger, or even if your baby's bigger right now, because maybe you're later on in the postpartum process and your baby's actually sleeping like 6 to 10 hours, 6, 8, 10 hours in a row, so the baby's sleeping the night, then it gets really hard, because then you're like finally sleeping and you're like, oh, I don't want to wake up early, I don't want to work out, but then you're so busy, and then you always leave it for later on, and later on is like later, and then later, and then later, and then you never get your workout done. So I just want to encourage you that if your baby is sleeping, get your workout done first thing in the morning. Don't wait. I've been doing this for 20 years, and my most consistent people ever have been my people that work out between 5 and 8 a.m. The earlier you can get your workout done, the better, because nothing happens. Nothing comes up. No meetings come up. Your husband doesn't ask you to run errands. Your baby doesn't need you. Nobody gets sick. Nobody needs to be picked up. Stuff doesn't happen. So if you could just wake up 20 minutes earlier and get your workout in, or schedule your workouts first thing in the morning, I promise you, guarantee that you'll be more consistent. And consistency is what will get you results, okay? Because if you just do 1 workout a week, 2 workouts a week, and you don't follow through, you won't see results. And I'm telling you that you are going to feel and look so much better in such a short amount of time if you just put in the time. If you're just consistent with these workouts and you follow through. This is an amazing plan. I've done it on thousands of people. I've done it on myself. It works, okay? So just want to encourage you, if you could get your workouts done as early as possible, first thing in the morning. I promise you'll be more consistent, okay? And lastly, I just want to talk about your actual workouts. So I just want to make sure that you don't feel discouraged if you can't get through the whole workout. Now, these are short workouts, but granted, you may have not even exercised during pregnancy. I don't know why, because I don't know why you didn't do my Fit Mom to Be workout program, but if you didn't, that's okay. You may not be at a point where you can get through the whole workout. Or maybe you didn't even work out before pregnancy, but now you're like, I need to work out. I want to feel like myself. I want to feel good. I want to have energy for my kids. So you're working out. So you're at a different level, and that's okay. So many women are like that. I do promise you that if you continue and you don't give up, every workout you'll get stronger. Every workout you'll have more endurance. Every workout you'll be able to do a little more. But don't get discouraged, okay? If I say do 2 sets and you can only do 1, just do 1. Promise you'll get better. And listen, maybe you exercise throughout your whole pregnancy. Maybe you did my Fit Mom to Be programs and you're in pretty good shape and you want to do 3 sets, go for it. Just know that no matter where you are, whether you're doing 1 set or 3 sets, I'm gonna progress you, okay? These workouts and this program is done very carefully so that we create a little stimulus that will create a change. In order to create a change, you need to add a stimulus. So we don't want to do it all at once, because then we don't have somewhere to work up to in order to see a change. So just trust me, I got you, girlfriend, okay? Just don't get discouraged if you can't do 1, and if you want to do 3, even 4 sets, go for it, okay? I'm so excited that you are doing this. I'm so proud of you. And man, I just feel honored to be on this journey with you. So get to it, get your workout done first thing in the morning, make sure you're resting enough, and use those naps wisely. Use some of them to rest. You deserve it, it's okay. I'll talk to you soon.